Good evening, folks. Welcome back to the program. It's Chris live in Central Pennsylvania for a special broadcast. President Trump is scheduled to go live here in just a moment. Special broadcast, and we'll see what he has to say. Probably going to talk about his achievements in the first 10 months. I don't know if he'll talk about South Africa tonight or Venezuela, but hopefully he will. We're just waiting for the president to come up. So I'm double checking to make sure I've got a couple feeds in case one goes live before the other one does. But okay, there we go. It's a little slow here. There we go. Yeah, okay.
Make it a habit.
Do not make it a habit. We don't want to hear that. Okay. So the program will begin shortly. He may be a couple minutes late, looks like. So meanwhile, we'll pop in on Fox News to make sure we don't get this wrong, and we don't want to miss the start of it. Sometimes we miss the start of it. So there's Fox News, and that's live from the White House. And like I said, I will probably go to the White House feed rather than the Fox News feed. So just hang tight, and I'll get myself back on air here. There we go. All right, cool. All right. So tonight, as I said, I expect to see the president talk about his record in the first 10 months. Also going to poo-poo the affordability crisis narrative that the Democrats are pushing. Magno News. Okay. No, I prefer to go with the White House feed. As a taxpayer, I pay for that. No one can make a copyright claim against me. Well, this is fair use, to be honest, what we're doing here. Faithful Farmer, welcome to you. Hope everyone's doing well. Let's say hello to everybody while we wait here, folks. Trump could surprise us tonight. Rudolph Skeppers, very good evening to you. Thank you for joining us. Christoph Seal, Work People, Nadine, Jacob, Bex, Karen Long, Kyle Watkins, Clody Polo, Zona Bloom. Here we go.
Months ago, I inherited a mess, and I'm fixing it. When I took office, inflation was I inherited a mess, and I'm fixing it. When I took office, inflation was the worst in 48 years, and some would say in the history of our country, which caused prices to be higher than ever before, making life unaffordable for millions and millions of Americans. This happened during a Democrat administration, and it's when we first began hearing the word affordability. Our border was open, and because of this, our country was being invaded by an army of 25 million people, many who came from prisons and jails, mental institutions, and insane asylums. They were drug dealers, gang members, and even 11,888 murderers, more than 50% of whom killed more than one person. This is what the Biden administration allowed to happen to our country, and it can never be allowed to happen again. We had men playing in women's sports, transgender for everybody, crime at record levels with law enforcement, and words such as that just absolutely forbidden. We had the worst trade deals ever made, and our country was laughed at from all over the world, but they're not laughing anymore. Over the past 11 months, we have brought more positive change to Washington than any administration in American history. There's never been anything like it, and I think most would agree. I was elected in a landslide, winning the popular vote and all 7 swing states and everything else, with a mandate to take on a sick and corrupt system that really just took the wealth from people and crushed the dreams of the American people. For the last 4 years, the United States was ruled by politicians who fought only for insiders, illegal aliens, career criminals, corporate lobbyists, prisoners, terrorists, and above all, foreign nations, which took advantage of us at levels never seen before. They flooded your cities and towns with illegal aliens. They decimated your hard-earned savings. They indoctrinated your children with hate for America. They just released a level of violent felons that we had never seen to prey on innocent. They caused war. They caused mayhem. They caused a horrible situation all over the globe. But now you have a president who fights for the law-abiding, hardworking people of our country, the ones who make this nation run, who make this nation work. And after just 1 year, we have achieved more than anyone could have imagined. Starting on day one, I took immediate action to stop the invasion of our southern border. For the past 7 months, 0 illegal aliens have been allowed into our country, a feat which everyone said was absolutely impossible.
I didn't say that.
Do you remember when Joe Biden said that he needed Congress to pass legislation to help close the border?
Yep.
He was always blaming Congress and everyone else. As it turned out, we didn't need legislation. We just needed a new president.
We need law
We
enforcement.
inherited the worst border anywhere in the world, and we quickly turned it into the strongest border in the history of our country. In other words, in a few short months, we went from worst to best.
First.
We're
Worst to
deporting
first.
criminals, restoring safety to our most dangerous cities. Just take a look at Washington, D.C. It's at levels of safety that we've never seen before. And they decimated the bloodthirsty foreign drug cartels. We did that all by ourselves with our people, and we're so proud of it because they were poisoning and destroying our population. Drugs brought in by ocean and by sea are now down 94%.
Yep.
We have broken the grip of sinister woke radicals in our schools, and control over those schools is back now in the hands of our great and loving states where education belongs. After rebuilding the United States military in my first term, and with the addition we are adding right now, we have the most powerful military anywhere in the world, and it's not even close. I've restored American strength, settled 8 wars in 10 months, destroyed the Iran nuclear threat, and ended the war in Gaza, bringing for the first time in 3,000 years peace to the Middle East, and secured the release of the hostages, both living and dead. Here at home, we're bringing our economy back from the brink of ruin. The last administration and their allies in Congress looted our treasury for trillions of dollars, driving up prices and everything at levels never seen before. I am bringing those high prices down and bringing them down very fast. Let's look at the facts. Under the Biden administration, car prices rose 22% and in many states 30% or more. Gasoline rose 30 to 50%. Hotel rates rose 37%. Airfares rose 31%. Now under our leadership, they are all coming down and coming down fast. Democrat politicians also sent the cost of groceries soaring, but we are solving that too. The price of a Thanksgiving turkey was down 33% compared to the Biden last year. The price of eggs is down 82% since March, and everything else is falling rapidly. And it's not done yet, but boy, are we making progress. Nobody can believe what's going on. Here are just some of the efforts that we have underway. You will see in your wallets and bank accounts in the new year. After years of record-setting falling incomes, our policies are boosting take-home pay at a historic pace. Under Biden, real wages plummeted by $3,000. Under Trump, the typical factory worker has seen a wage increase of $1,300. For construction workers, it's $1,800. For miners, we're bringing back clean, beautiful coal. It's $3,300. And for the first time in years, wages are rising much faster than inflation.
Yep.
Remember that. The wages, just look at it. Wages are going up much faster than inflation. How big is that? Very importantly, there are more people working today than at any time in American history, and 100% of all jobs created since I took office have been in the private sector. Think of that. 100% of all jobs have been in the private sector rather than government, which is the only way to make a country powerful and great. This historic trend will continue. Already, I've secured a record-breaking $18 trillion of investment into the United States, which means jobs, wage increases, growth, factory openings, and far greater national security. Much of this success has been accomplished by tariffs. My favorite word, tariffs, which for many decades have been used successfully by other countries against us, but not anymore. Companies know that If they build in America, there are no tariffs. And that's why they're coming home to the USA in record numbers. They're building factories and plants at levels we haven't seen, AI, automobiles. We're doing what nobody thought was even possible, not even remotely possible. There has never, frankly, been anything like it. 1 year ago, our country was dead. We were absolutely dead. Our country was ready to fail, totally failed. Now, we're the hottest country anywhere in the world. And that's said by every single leader that I've spoken to over the last 5 months. Next year, you will also see the results of the largest tax cuts in American history that were really accomplished through our great, big, beautiful bill, perhaps the most sweeping legislation ever passed in Congress. We wrapped 12 different bills up into one beautiful bill. That includes no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our great seniors.
Yep.
Under these cuts, many families will be saving between $11,000 and $20,000 a year.
Yep.
And next spring is projected to be the largest tax refund season of all time.
Just 11
because
months.
of tariffs, along with the just passed one big beautiful bill, tonight I am also proud to announce that more than 1,450,000, think of this, 1,450,000 military service members will receive a special, we call Warrior Dividend before Christmas. So Warrior Dividend.
What the hell's my Warrior Dividend?
In
36
honor of
years.
our nation's founding in 1776, we are sending every soldier $1,776.
Where's my 1,776?
And the checks are already on the way. Nobody understood that one until about 30 minutes ago. We made a lot more money than anybody thought because of tariffs, and the bill helped us along. Nobody deserves it more than our military, and I say congratulations to everybody. And by the way, we now have record enlistment in our military, and last year we had among the worst recruitment numbers in our military's history. What a difference a year makes. In addition, I'm doing what no politician of either party has ever done, standing up to the special interests to dramatically reduce the price of prescription drugs. I negotiated directly with the drug companies and foreign nations, which were taking advantage of our country for many decades, to slash prices on drugs and pharmaceuticals by as much as 400, 500, and even 600%. In other words, your drug costs will be plummeting downward, and I used the threat of tariffs to get foreign countries who would never have done it to pay the cost of this giant dollar reduction. They stopped ripping us off, and it began as of 4 days ago. There has never been anything like this in the history of our country. Drugs have only gone up, but now they'll be going down by numbers never conceived possible. It's called Most Favored Nation, and no president has ever had the courage or ability to get this done until now. The first of these unprecedented price reductions will be available starting in January through a new website, trumprx.gov. And these big price cuts will greatly reduce the cost of health care. I'm also taking on the gigantic health insurance companies that have gotten rich on billions of dollars of money that should go directly to the people. The money should go to the people, that's you, so they can buy their own health insurance, which will give far better benefits at much lower costs. It will be far better health insurance. The current Unaffordable Care Act was created to make insurance companies rich. It was bad health care at much too high a cost.
That's what I said.
And you see that
15
now
years
in
ago.
the steep increase in premiums being demanded by the Democrats, and they are demanding those increases, and it's their fault. It is not the Republicans' fault. It's the Democrats' fault. It's the Unaffordable Care Act, and everybody knew it. Again, I want the money to go directly to the people so you can buy your own health care. You'll get much better health care at a much lower price. The only losers will be insurance companies that have gotten rich, and the Democrat Party, which is totally controlled by those same insurance companies. They will not be happy, but that's okay with me, because you, the people, are finally going to be getting great health care at a lower cost. Another major focus is the cost of energy. For years, the radical left Democrats exploited the green energy scam as an excuse to funnel many billions of dollars into their own massive slush funds, as their energy restrictions drastically drove up prices, and they drove them up at record levels. Electricity costs surged 30 to 100% under Biden, and the typical family lost $5,000 to $10,000 in higher energy costs. Think of that, $5,000 to $10,000 you lost. On day one, I declared a national energy emergency. Gasoline is now under $2.50 a gallon in much of the country. In some states, it, by the way, just hit $1.99 a gallon. And within the next 12 months, we will have opened 1,600 new electrical generating plants, a record,
wow.
And it's a record that won't be beaten by practically, I would say, by anybody, or certainly not very soon. Prices on electricity and everything else will fall dramatically. The Democrat inflation disaster, again, the worst in the history of our country, also robbed millions of Americans of home ownership and indeed the American dream. The yearly cost of a typical new mortgage increased by $15,000 under Democrat rule. In 11 months, we've already gotten that annual cost down by $3,000, and it's coming down a lot lower. Wait till you see. The numbers are going to be shocking. And I'll soon announce our next chairman of the Federal Reserve, someone who believes in lower interest rates by a lot, and mortgage payments will be coming down even further. Early the new year, and you will see this, in the new year, I will announce some of the most aggressive housing reform plans in American history. A major factor in driving up housing costs was the colossal border invasion.
Oh, that too.
We have never
Housing
been
shortage.
invaded. This is the worst thing that, frankly, in my opinion, the worst thing that the Biden administration did to our country is the invasion at the border. The last administration and their allies in Congress brought in millions and millions of migrants and gave them taxpayer-funded housing while your rent and housing costs skyrocketed. Over 60% of growth in the rental market came from foreign migrants. At the same time, illegal aliens stole American jobs and flooded emergency rooms, getting free health care and education paid for by you, the American taxpayer. They also increased the cost of law enforcement by numbers so high that they are not even to be mentioned. For the first time in 50 years, we are now seeing reverse migration as migrants go back home, leaving more housing and more jobs for Americans. In the year before my election, all net creation of jobs was going to foreign migrants. Since I took office, 100% of all net job creation has gone to American-born citizens, 100%. In the end, government either serves the productive, patriotic, hardworking American citizen, or it serves those who break the laws, cheat the system, and seek power and profit at the expense of our nation. Look at Minnesota, where Somalians have taken over the economics of the state and have stolen billions and billions of dollars from Minnesota and indeed from the United States of America. And we're going to put an end to it. For so long as before my election, the vast majority of good and decent Americans were forced to watch as corrupt politicians plundered the halls of power, exploited our taxpayers, and pillaged every system that makes civilized society function. But not anymore, and you see that every day, not anymore. We're putting America first, and we are making America great again. Very simple. We are making America great again. Tonight, after 11 months, our border is secure. Inflation is stopped. Wages are up. Prices are down. Our nation is strong. America is respected. And our country is back, stronger than ever before. We're poised for an economic boom, the likes of which the world has never seen. Soon we will host the World Cup and the Olympics, both of which I got. But most importantly, we will celebrate the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. There could be no more fitting tribute to this epic milestone than to complete the comeback of America that began just 1 year ago. When the world looks at us next year, let them see a nation that is loyal to its citizens, faithful to its workers, confident to its identity, certain to its destiny, and the envy of the entire globe. We are respected again like we have never been respected before. To each and every one of
Not
you,
by South
have
Africa's
a Merry
politicians.
Christmas and a Happy New Year. God bless you all.
That's it. There you go, folks. President Trump. That was pretty much, as I said, it was all, he was just going to talk about his accomplishments. So there you go. There you have it. So, a special broadcast this evening from the White House, not from the Oval Office, at least not the seated portion there, but from the Christmas tree set up there. And there you go. President Trump touting his accomplishments in just 11 months. President Trump has accomplished more in 11 months than most presidents accomplished in 8 years, quite frankly. We have challenges nonetheless. We have demon rats in Congress. We have, armchair Republican, country club Republicans who are really just rhinos, Republican name only. And we saw 3 of them in Pennsylvania in Congress vote with the Democrats to try to restore the health care subsidies the Democrats have burdened us with. This is a country that's on the move. It's on the mend. It's on repair. We do have challenges. The national debt is a problem that must not be ignored. Healthcare must be resolved. The cost of healthcare must be brought down. And the way you do that is to get the government to quit intruding into the healthcare sector and allow people to port their healthcare insurance from place to place. It should not be tied to employment, but rather should be tied to the individual. Therefore, you can be covered by the same healthcare plan in Maine or in Arizona, in Washington State or Florida, and every point in between, including Hawaii and Alaska, or the territories. That's what needs to happen in the country. And we need to address those 2 things. We also need to kick out these millions of criminal alien invaders, each and every one of them, despite the lies told by the media and by their activist groups. They are not criminals. They are not good people. They violate our sovereignty. They invaded our country, and that was their first act. And if that's how you treat our country, you have no respect for it. You have no right to be here whatsoever. You should be out of the country. And that's something that needs to be addressed. The president is addressing that as well. And that's pretty much what he had to say. The whole point was talking about things that he's done very well, and I can't disagree. President Trump has done some pretty amazing things, gotten a lot of work accomplished in just 11 months, despite 575 almost all frivolous nuisance lawsuits filed by leftist hate wankers and Democrats and other opposition figures around the country trying to submarine and sabotage the success of this country. The hatred for Donald Trump is disgusting. It's sick, but it is real, and it's something he has to know. He has to deal with. No, he didn't speak at refugees. Also didn't speak about Venezuela. I have a feeling that it's going to be a Friday that this will be addressed. This will be addressed, but I will be talking about it again tonight. But I do plan to make a video before then, so I need to get ready to do that here shortly. What else am I missing here? 7 days a week and twice on Sundays. Impressive numbers. They are Johan Fundenheve, but of course they won't say that. They will fact check President Trump and say he didn't do this, he didn't do that. That's not true. This hasn't come true yet. But they won't be balanced in that. I will be balanced. When I say the president comes up short, I'll also give the facts and why he came up short, unless it's just a failure on his part. Dante van Wyk, I'm okay. I'm just very tired. People should change the 2-term laws. No, there's a reason for that. We do not need imperial presidency. Yep. Anyway, so what do we got here in questions? Thanks for the memberships that were handed out. That was from work. People gave out 10 memberships. Thank you for that. Okay. So Pikachu got one. Dion as Emsley. Jason Stevenson photography. Old King Rat, excuse me. Grimm's Fox shadowing. Okay. Gene Kitching, Sean Folshank. Hey, Sean. Sean Folshank is here. Sean got a membership. Congratulations, Sean. Good. That's good to see. Good to see. Sean is an OG. He's been around forever, but Sean is a casual viewer. Sean lives with a prawn thief. So just to let you know that Sean lives with a prawn thief. If you ever go out to dinner with Sean, be careful if the prawn thief comes along, because all of your prawns will disappear. They'll be gone. If you look the other way for just a second, you come back and where did my prawns go? They were just here. Who took my prawns? Where did my prawns go? Oh my goodness. Anyway. Yeah, promises made, promises kept. It's amazing. Many promises can't be done in such a short period of time, but Trump has actually pulled off in such a short period of time. People understand that you do not need to love an effective manager. You just need to work with them. Exactly. Exactly. And that's something that a lesson that someone that was disrespectful and rude to me the past week should actually learn. They should actually learn that as well. Yes, they don't like me. That's your problem. It's your personal problem. But my leadership style is effective and it's mission oriented. And that's the bottom line. And it treats people fairly and equitably. So you couldn't ask for anything more. Hourly employee, I've made $20,000 more this year than last year. I only got a 3% hourly raise, but overtime has been crazy. Well, there you go, Kirkland Red. You're going to make a ton more money because those taxes are going to disappear. I guess Sean Folshank disappeared because he hasn't said anything about the prawn thief. I thought he would respond to the prawn thief. Comment. Dante says, not working with me. What's not? People need to understand. Yeah. Well, it is your internet, Ingrid, because it's actually working mine. I think they might actually have fixed the problem. I'm not going to hold my breath yet that they fixed it, but I'm hoping they have. Fox News will praise the achievements. Other news will try to debunk. Yes, they will put fact checkers up and say the president lied, he misled, this isn't true, that isn't true, this isn't true, that's true. Well, it is true. Get over yourself and stop lying to the public and the media. So they just always, it's like I read News 24 article earlier. They report things, some of which are factual, but none of it is actually objective. They present it in a fashion that's, frankly, journalistically dishonest. Yeah, even for an op-ed, it's dishonest. Yeah, and it's just wrong the way they do it. So, President Trump tonight touting his achievements, lowering interest rates, well, he doesn't do that, but he's able to get the Fed to lower the interest rates, saving people a few $1,000s a year on their mortgage, whereas it was costing an average of $14,000 more. Now, bear in mind that unless you had an adjustable rate mortgage, that didn't affect you, or you took out a new mortgage. So that's what gets factored into it. My mortgage rate hasn't changed since I made my loan, because it's a fixed rate. So what happened in the mortgage market had no effect on me other than driving up home prices. Yeah, Tor stream was seamless this morning. Yep. Touch wood. Yeah, I'm definitely touching wood right there. Or knock on the door. Knock on wood. We say knock on wood, not touch wood. Yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much the situation tonight from South Africa. Gosh, I'm such a habit saying that. From Washington, D.C., President Trump really getting it done. And folks, you'll be redirected to my next broadcast, which isn't scheduled to start for an hour. That's so I gave myself cushion to not rush and make another video, possibly two, that need to be published about this raid in South Africa. So when I drop off, I'll be up shortly after that, but I have to record it and edit it. Shouldn't take too long. And once I've done that, then I'll publish those and then we'll go live. All right. So I've seen messages saying that there was nothing about South Africa. Simple answer is wolves do not concern themselves with the opinions of sheep. So there was a bug on the windshield. Yes, Weatherman, how's it going? I think you may be right about that. Touchwood means something very different. Oh, I know. And you also have a suburb of Cape Town known as Goodwood. Every time I drive past Goodwood, I'm like, what the hell? Goodwood? That has a little bit too much of a sexual connotation. Rulinda just gave a 35 Rand. Thank you for all your work. It opened my eyes this year on what the truth is. You're very welcome, Rulinda. And again, you don't have to believe me. I give you the receipts. I tell you where to go find the information. I show you the parts of the South African Constitution. I show you the sources. I tell you where you get the information from. And if it's reliable, I tell you. If it's unreliable, I tell you. And that's the way objective journalists should be. You can be objective, but still be biased. We all have bias. And if we admit our bias, then we're fine. I admit my bias. America is the greatest country in the history of the planet and is an experiment that is still ongoing, that needs to be tweaked and needs to be treated and fed and cared for. But nothing comes better than what America has at the moment. So that's how I feel. Capitalism is the answer to end poverty, and people can be as generous as they want, but you can't sanction or state control generosity by robbing people to give to other people. That creates sloth and laziness. And Natalie Sten gave a 35 Rand super sticker saying, good job. Thank you for that. Mandy saying, thank you very much. You're very kind, guys. Thank you. We are not done for today. I will be making videos as soon as I go off air here, at least one video, possibly two if there's sufficient time. And then I will be back with Night Owls, scheduled for 63 minutes from now, or 62 minutes from now. 61 minutes. That clock is really falling behind. 61 minutes. Can't wait till it's our turn to make USA a permanent home. Well, I wish you best of luck on that, Rudolph. Okay. And thank you, Natalie. It's your pleasure. I appreciate that. So 60 minutes from now, I'll be back on. Come hell or high water, good Lord willing, the creek don't rise. I'll be back on shortly. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good evening. Merry Christmas to everyone. Chesed Kesvis, and happy Hanukkah for those enjoying Hanukkah right now with one eye looking over your shoulder, no doubt. All right, I'll see some of you shortly in the Night Owls program. It's coming up after a brief pause for you, but not for me, as I continue working on content for you, delivering lucid, cogent, insightful, and prescient analysis and intelligence on events around the world. God bless and Merry Christmas.